Alexey Kучейко, he is a male, application of cloud web platforms to study big walrus rookeries. Once again, hello, distinguished colleagues. What I'm going to describe is our experience in using the cloud-based web platforms with open source medium resolution satellite images for the large size holdouts. We worked with Rissat company with the National Russian Arctic Park. It is supported by WWF, Severtsov Institute supporting us, and other partners. I will thank all the partners. In the end, there are two wonderful girls, the school children, and since we use simple algorithms, we're trying to engage school children for their occupational orientation, and these two girls, they study laptive walruses. This is minus 50. The outside temperature is minus 50 degrees Celsius, and for the first time the satellite imagery was applied by us in 2011 in the joint projects of WWF, ScanNext, and Marine Mammals Council. And we have publications dated as 2012. We use the commercial RSB satellite with 0.7 meter per pixel, Israeli satellite. And the specificity of such high resolution imagery is that it can be done one time, and to maintain regular observations, we need significant funds. Starting from 2019, we're trying to use medium resolution imagery. They have their own specificity, and we limited by the sand gist beaches and big hollowouts, but the results turned out to be even more advanced than we expected. And due to use of satellite imagery of medium resolution, we managed to determine such additional parameters, approximate timelines of formation, coordinates, dynamic of changes taking place in the hollout, and additional information as tentative abundance estimation. The first project was performed in 2020 with Norwegian WWF, Russian Arctic National Park, and Severtsov Institute. We monitored the holdouts on Большой Аранский and Восточный Island, and we obtained a very representative set of images, 22 images over the course of 90 days. Believe me, this is a big amount for the Arctic condition. We identified the dates of maximum gatherings of walruses, more than 1,000 individuals were at the peak dates. The world is changing. We're talking about the Industrial Revolution 4.0, big data. And Google proposed a tool to work with this data, to organize a cloud storages, cloud repositories. It is called Earth Engine. This is a data repository, along with the infrastructure, software, and UI. And due to it, we don't have to download all these images, and we can operate in a cloud, sending only our customers' requests. Apart from the Earth Engine, we have a whole number of other competitive platforms. The most well-known are the platforms that are organized based on Sentinel Hub. They have 4 platforms, umbrella, DS brand-based platforms, both private and public, viewer, NASA platform, view, Sora, and the whole range of different platforms that are differently focused. They have different functional capacity. You can process it based on your own scripts or pre-installed scripts. You can use pre-installed scripts, but the platform puts together data in the data cubes, and the time series archives are being formed, and Sentinel puts together data from 2014. This is a gigantic archive that using simple commands you can change, you can modify, and come up with your own products. It takes only several minutes to process your request, and the major benefit of this web platform is time series of satellite images, enabling us to come up with time series quickly without long time procedures. Sometimes physically it's very torturing experience to download, but still we can analyze dynamics of callouts, abundance, and such time variability, and analysis of the time variability of the medium resolution images enables to compensate for some of the disadvantages pertaining to the medium resolution. You can see the time series for the Песчаный Island callout, and these are the index-based images. The light color corresponds to the gatherings of walruses, and you can see the dynamics as it is shifting along the coast. Specialists know such an effect. And another time series of the images with the quasi-natural synthesis of channels using ultra-red range, Большой Island. You can see the positioning of the callout gathering of walruses is traveling. I'm trying to launch the animation so you can see the way the callout moves along the coast of the island and comes to a certain point and then resumes. July to September. Again, we apply the index-based animation, index images animation, and we propose to use them to observe the callouts on the sand using normalized differential index on using sandy pebble callouts movements, and this is we apply correction coefficients, otherwise the results will not be so impressive. And these techniques were applied to analysis of callouts of Песчаный Island and Большой Аранский Island. Apart from big gatherings of walruses, such time series, it turned out that we can also detect a very small callouts, 15 to 20 meters long. It's like 1.5 pixel or 2 pixel for Sentinel-2. And theoretically, we should not have discovered them, that due to the time series tool, we can see the fluctuations, the movements of the very small colonies of walruses and animation. This is Kучейко Cape, Северный Island, and it was detected by two girls, Yakutian girls. This is only 15 to 20 meter long hole out. And this is Anisi Cape, Котельный Island, 2019. You can see the dynamics. And Maria already mentioned in her presentation, this is Zemlyanoy Cape, Schmidt Island in 2019 and 2020. This is not a time series. Due to limitations, we can get only 2 or 3 images with no clouds, and 2 of them show walruses in different positioning. Light areas signal or indicate the hole out's location. To assess preliminary abundance, the validation and calibration measurements are important using additional information, high resolution images, or we're using drones or field surveys data. And we are very thankful to Julia Bogomolova for her help, and also the nature reserve staff. We are thankful for the data, and so we use other resources for our outcomes. That's it. Let me reiterate that use of time series of medium resolution satellite imagery has additional benefits, and we can detect such parameters like form and shape, abundance, preliminary timelines of formation. And interesting results got obtained once we use the index images, especially for the small size images, especially in the sand and pebble beaches. Once again, we want to thank the school children and participated. We want to thank the WWF, Russian Arctic Nature Reserve, Ivan Mizin, Nenetska Nature Reserve, Julia Bogomolova, Severtsev Institute, and everyone who supported us. Thank you, Alexey. Thank you for your interesting presentation. Very, very fascinating data. We have several questions and we have time for the questions. Maria Slavina, Alexey, hello, thank you. It was really, really interesting. And from technical perspective, you provided lots of interesting details. You mentioned that you engage school children. So what are the further actions, further steps to be taken to keep engaging students and school children to deal with the data? And if there are such steps, is the targeted work specific schools, or the information will be posted in the open, in the public domain? RiskSat company that I represent, we are doing a satellite space educational programs, and our core business is to educate students. We engage them in different projects: history, ecology, glaciers, new islands. Yes, we are working on a permanent basis, and we want them to find their vocations, to find their professions and call of their lives. And Ivan Mizin and Julia Bogomolova, they participate as professors, as lecturers. They deliver training sessions to our children. And this year, our school children, they graduated from school and entered universities. that are directly related to our activities, geographical department of Moscow State University, and also Moscow Aviation Institute, but no biologists so far, but the first green shoots are there, and we started to work with school children. We will appreciate your engagement as well if you help us to deliver more work. A very short question. These satellite images of the hollowouts that you process, do they need to be placed on sand only, or how about the rock surface? We had an assumption to have a contrast, high contrast. So not just on the pixels that we use, but also on the spectral background. And in some cases, in Franz Joseph Land Islands, we can detect the hollowouts, but not all. The Seal Island, we failed to find anything. However, based on the field data, there should be individual walruses, and because the field observations were done at the same time, so we really needed this light wave contrast between the background and walruses. That's why the sand and pebble beaches were preferable. Thank you for the very interesting presentation.